Greetings and salutations. In today's video, we're going to be focusing on area of different shapes. Firstly, what is area? Area is the flat space taken by a given shape. What shape is this? Well, it's a quite irregular looking square. And if I were to ask you to find the area of this shape, what would you do? Well, the formula for this is length by length. Or you could just simply say L squared. Let's do an example of this. For example, the length of a square is 5 centimeters, right? And I need to find the area. So the formula is L squared. So 5 squared, 25 centimeters squared. Remember, it is centimeters squared because we are dealing with area. It would just be centimeters if we are dealing with perimeter, which will be in the next video. Next question, what shape is this? That is a rectangle, if you can tell. The shorter length will always be the width, and the longer length will always be the length. Our formula for area is length by width. For example, if I were to tell you that the length of one side of the rectangle is 12 centimeters and the width is 5 centimeters, our formula would be length by width, so that's just 12 centimeters by 5 centimeters, which gives us 60 centimeters squared. Next shape. This is a triangle. With a triangle, there are two things you should know. The height. So usually we go down, it would be perpendicular angle. So this is the height, and straight down across is the base. Area of a triangle is a half multiplied by the base multiplied by the height. Or, in other ways, you may have seen it as a half multiplied by the base multiplied by the height. Or you could also say, by putting these two together, multiplied by base by height, if we put base by height over 1, we could multiply this out. So 1 multiplied by BH, base by height, is just base by height, and 2 multiplied by 1 is just 2. So this is kind of just a simplified version of you just putting the formula together. It's the same thing, honestly. Let's do a practice question. If I were to tell you the base of a triangle is 2 centimeters and the height is 10 centimeters, what is the area? Well, by using my formula, BH over 2, that would be 2 centimeters and then 10 all over 2, so that's 20 over 2. Which is 10 centimeters squared. Remember, all of your answers, if you're dealing with area, must be squared. Lastly, a circle. Then again, if you can tell, it's a circle. So the radius is always half of the circle, although the diameter goes straight all the way across. This is the radius and this is the diameter. Now our formula for this to find the area is pi r squared. This may look scary, but all it is that pi in decimals, rounded up, is 3.14, and the radius is just half of the circle, and you're just squaring it. So, example, I find out that the radius is 10 centimeters, and I need to find out the area. So the area would be pi 10 squared. And then that would just be pi 100. And you can just put this into your calculator, and then it should give you 3.14 centimeters squared. Now these are quite ideally easy questions, but let's see if you guys can handle a more difficult question. What would you do if you see this diagram and you are told to find the area that is shaded? Well, firstly, let's just break down the number of shapes that we can see. Well, firstly, this is a rectangle. And then we also see a triangle and a circle. So let's just break this down. There are quite a few ways you can do this, but probably the easiest way for you to do this is by finding the area of this triangle and this circle, and then finding the area of this whole rectangle, and then taking them away. So let's do that. What is the area to find a rectangle? Let's firstly find out the area of this whole shape. Well, the formula is length by width. So they have told us here that the length here is 26. Although the problem is they haven't told us the width. Or have they? If we look at this circle here, what is this? Well, this is the radius, and as I've mentioned, it shows half of the circle. But this isn't a circle though, this is actually a semicircle. So 12.5 centimeters is the radius of this semicircle, only half of it. But if we were to double it, that would be the width of the rectangle. So our width would be 12.5 multiplied by 2, which gives us 25 centimeters. So we have our length, we have our width. Now we need to multiply. So length by width, 26 centimeters by 25 centimeters, which gives us 650 centimeters squared. Now let's box that, because now we know that the whole rectangle is 650. So once we find out the area of the semicircle and the triangle and we take them away from 650, we'll have our answer. So let's look at the triangle. What's the formula to find the area of a triangle? It is BH over 2. So what is our base and what is our height? Well, they've told us what the height is already. It is 7 centimeters. Problem is they haven't told us the base. Or have they? So the base of the triangle is exactly the width of the rectangle. And what is the width of the rectangle? It is 25. So we know that the base is 25 and the height is 7. Put that all over 2. Then you get 175 all over 2. And then you get 87.5 centimeters squared. So now this is the area of this triangle. So we're more than halfway there. Now we need to figure out the area of the circle, or should we call it the semicircle? So let's firstly find out the area if it was a full circle, and then we can divide it by 2 because it is half. So the formula to find the area of a circle is pi r squared. So pi, what is our radius? It is 12.5 centimeters. So 12.5, I'm going to square that. And that gives us 490.9 centimeters squared. Now that's for the full circle, but we need half. So 490.9 centimeters squared divided by 2 gives us 245.4 centimeters squared. And this is the area of the circle. Now we have the area of the rectangle, we have the area of the triangle, and we have the area of the circle. Now we must take these away from 650, the whole area. So 650 centimeters squared, take away 87.5 centimeters squared, take away 245.4 centimeters squared, and your answer should be 317.1 centimeters squared. And that is that. Thank you for watching.